All right, now the honeymoons are winding down, and it's almost time for the couples to head back to Seattle. But listen, before they head back, we're gonna see a few more days of them enjoying some fun in the sun, enjoying each other, some good food, some good vibes, and hopefully no arguments. But listen, we know with this season, we're gonna get plenty of disagreements and arguments. So let's get right into it. Welcome back. I appreciate you coming back. I'm so grateful. Y'all just don't know. So after the first couple's meet and greet, you have Devin and Caitlin heading back to their apartment or their honeymoon suite. And Caitlin's saying, listen, we had a really good time. First thing Devin get to, listen, I don't really appreciate how you did me as far as the gym situation this morning. I'm not feeling it. That's not, she ends up saying, listen, I can't be with my person for 24/7. He's like, that's not how I view relationships, but I do want to do everything that I could do to help you lean into this marriage. So they end on that note. They have a, cute little toast and leave it at that. So, because these two, listen, they do genuinely like each other and they consistently agree on that. We genuinely find each other attractive. We genuinely like each other. But the whole black cat energy, golden retriever energy, that's for the birds. Either y'all like each other or y'all don't. Everybody on this show came on the show specifically to get married to somebody at first sight because they saying, hey, we gonna trust these experts. At the end of the day, if you ask me, these cats just wanted to be on TV because some of them have the income to hire someone personally to help them without the whole world seeing it. So that's a whole nother conversation. So let's get to the next couple. The next couple we have are Mecca and Belle Jolie, and those two are winding down from the meet and greet with Becca. Look, their name is Becca together. They done coined themselves Becca, but I meant to say Mecca. He's super happy with how the night went, child, and how they look. So he's complimenting Belle Jolie on how she carried herself and how good she looked. But still, in my opinion, their body language is giving friendship vibes. He seems to be love bombing her as well. Like ever since she had that conversation with him on the boat, as far as, listen, we got the green on, I'm giving you the green light. Be a little bit more romantic. You could be a little bit more touchy feely. Ever since she had that conversation with him, it seems that he has been just over complimenting her. Oh, you look so good. Oh, you look like a fine cinnamon stick. This and that. I can barely be around you. What I'm going to do with you? He just laying it on super thick, child. So we are going to see, what comes from that because I don't feel good about them too. I don't think these two are going to make it. But let's go to Dr. Sean and Nikki because I remember saying that Adam and Marissa were gonna be the hot topic couple, but Nikki and Dr. Best definitely have them beat or almost have them beat. But at first we do see them being cute and flirty, but again, it's not an episode this season, especially without these two arguing. These two argue every episode, so I expect that from them at this point. But they do start off very, very cute, very flirty on a shopping date. They go out to eat. They end up discussing their past relationships. She talks about her and her high school sweetheart were actually together for a decade, and pretty much she outgrew them. And Sean is talking about every relationship pretty much that he's been in, he's been the one to do all the pouring. When it comes time for him to get his needs met or for someone to pour into him, when the smoke clears, nobody is there to be found. So she kind of told you, hey, you don't deserve that. I mean, they really seem to be getting along, y'all. So I don't know. But again, I'm not even gonna sit here at the beginning of this video and say they're not gonna argue, because that wouldn't even match this season. If no nobody else argue, these two is definitely gonna argue. So here we go. The next couple we have is Michelle and Cameron. Michelle and Cameron, they ended up going through with a Mayan ceremony. So you see them during their Mayan ceremony, child, and the people flicking all the smoke and stuff around them. But the biggest thing to Cam was, listen, we had our first kiss. So that was a super cute moment. We didn't see them share their first kiss, but you know, I guess, I don't know, something conjured up the emotion and the romanticism in them, and they ended up sharing a first kiss after that ceremony. Adam and Marissa, child, still walking around the island in the resort, being nasty, being freaky. They having good dates as well. Then we get to a day, looks like a pool day. The couples are all out at the pool. Everybody's smiling. Everybody's in a good mood, looking good. They having a blast. Mecca and Devin doing the worm. Felipe talking about, listen, I only been pretty for 3 years. How long y'all look good? Then we got child Adam in his swim socks. Now I already told y'all Adam don't got foot fungus. That was just a teaser that they teased us with. But don't tease me with having foot fungus. So I wonder how Adam felt about that. He probably didn't care, because he ain't got foot fungus. But that was crazy. But Adam's whole reason for wearing swim socks, Nike socks, because swim socks ain't a damn thing. Let's keep it real. He had on Nike socks. Well, his whole thing is, if you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. He said, I wear these socks because you never know when a football is gonna be tossed around, and I might want to protect. Listen, I don't want to slip. So of course it won't be a group meet if the couples didn't kind of separate and go to like a boys side and a girls side. And then you see individuals who are kind of getting close, like Caitlyn and Courtney, click up. You see Belle Jolie click up with a couple of the women and have, personal moments. You see Mecca and Nick click up. So that starts to happen. Marissa and Belle Jolie's telling Marissa how good her and Adam look. They should be on a magazine. Caitlyn and Courtney by the bar complaining about Devin and Nick. Both of them talking about, they ain't getting the space that they need. Courtney even talking about she making up excuses like, I got the bubble guts to get away from Nick. She talking about she feels like she's in quarantine still. Still talking about, like, is he that bad, Courtney? Is he that bad? Courtney, just because that man couldn't use that espresso machine, Courtney. Like, that's, in my opinion, that's all it comes down to for her. And that's really, really annoying, because she's not giving him a chance. Like, he's been on a lot of reality shows. And again, I already said everybody's here because they want to be on TV. So this is not me saying, okay, he not here just to be on TV. But if he's trying to get to know you and you shooting everything down and your whole thing is, I'm just so bored with you and everything you do annoys me, like not being able to work the espresso machine. What if he knows how to take apart a transmission? He knows how to do all type of stuff. But you can't get over the fact that this man didn't know how to work an espresso machine. And it wasn't that he didn't know how to open the twist off to the bottle. He didn't know that it was a twist off. So, like, she's doing too much. You see Mecca. Excuse me, I got something in my eye. You got Mecca and Nick. They still a moment together, and Nick is actively trying to make sure that him and Courtney don't end up in the friend zone. Like, he's feeling that the vibes aren't really there, and they've had a conversation, and he knows he needs to step his game up. So he's like, me and you were kind of in the same boat, and Mecca's like, I mean, we cool. I mean, if there is a problem, I'm the problem, but I feel like we cool. I slap her on the butt every time she walk by. I'm like I told y'all, he is just kind of overcompensating, I guess, for not being super hands-on with her in regards to romance. And he's all in his confessional talking about, yeah, she gave me the green light to make a move, but I don't want to look too thirsty. I mean, it's a poor excuse. you know the girl likes you. You know she's attracted to you. Y'all just got married. Like, how slow do you want to go? But at the same time, I'm taking up for Caitlyn, and I'm taking up for her, pacing with everything. And Devin need to kind of lay off and back off a little bit. And Belle Jolie is not hunting Mecca down, saying like, I want you all over me, or she's not all over him either. But Mecca does not seem like he likes Belle Jolie. Like, I don't know how many. I'm not even going to talk y'all head off. At the end of the day, he just seems like he liked the way they look together. Point blank. We also see Belle Jolie talking to Tori about how the attraction is there. Like, in her mind, they good. All I see is him affirming her. So in her mind, she thinking her little green light pep talk worked, but he's still thinking like, I need to be moving at a snail's pace with her for some reason. So he says. Then here comes Courtney talking to Tori about how boring Nick is. Now, my whole thing was, this was awkward because, in my opinion, Courtney, you looking Tori in her eye, telling her that you wish your husband was more like her husband. Hello? What are you doing, Courtney? Like, Courtney don't care. She need to get across to everyone of how bored she is with Nick. It's crazy. Now, they do end up, like I said, going on an excursion later on, and they have a deeper talk. She finally keeps it real with him. She finally, she breaks down some of her walls. She gets a little emotional and a little teary-eyed. She, tells him what she's been saying in the confessionals all along, that she's a slow burn. She's not a big mushy person. But like I said, she has an emotional moment, and she's talking about how awkward she feels actually saying what she needs. She's so used to making sure everybody else's needs is met. She doesn't even feel right saying, hey, this is what I need. So in that moment, she, said that she felt like a weight was lifted. Both of them, bonded on, hey, we're both goofy, we're both playful, and they both in that moment agreed not to overthink and just be themselves and have fun. He, pretty much does also assure her, like, listen, I'm not on here, to be in front of the camera. My motive is to have a happy marriage. He said, even if the Married at First Sight cameras wasn't here, I genuinely want to find the one. So I think they had a breakthrough. I think some of that is BS, to me, they're all on there to find a partner, but also some kind of stardom or brand deals. So now, as always, like I said, Sean and Nikki have a moment. Nikki seems to be in a good mood. It looks like their room has a hot tub attached, so they're in the room where the hot tub is. Nikki's telling them how much she appreciates his leadership in regards to him becoming the spiritual leader in their relationship. And they both agree that their physical comfort levels have also improved. But again, it wouldn't be them if they didn't have some sort of debate. He's still in interview mode. He asked her if she has needs outside of sex that she wants fulfilled, and also how does she fulfill her partner's needs. So she turns it like, okay, is it something you're trying to tell me? Do you have needs that, are non-sexual that need to be met? And he goes on like, yeah, I want the back of my head rubbed. I want to be touched. I want a little scratchy scratch. Ugh, that was so ilky to me, but I don't know. Now, listen, I don't know. I haven't seen anybody saying, oh, this is not a good looking man. It just wasn't the man that she asked for, especially in regards to height. He's not a bad looking man, but I think where Sean becomes unattractive is when he opens his mouth. He's just always so argumentative. But she turns it back around on him, and of course he's like, and I also, want somebody who initiates kisses, somebody who's a little more flirty, like smack me on the booty when I walk by. Never heard Now listen, maybe I'm not too experienced in men. Do men like that? Men like a little smack on the booty, and they'll be like, "Hey, babe, smack me on the booty." Like, I don't know. Like, I guess couples do it. I've probably done it before, but I don't know. I don't know if I ever heard a man like say that that's one of the things that, like, do this more. You know what I'm saying? He said something like, when if we're out somewhere and I'm across the room, like, mouth to me, "I can't wait to kiss you later. I can't wait to hug you later." Like, his request was weird to me. So she responds like, "Listen, yeah, we're matched for a reason, so I'm definitely open to exploring those things with you, but I want them to happen organically. Like, I'm not just finna start, jumping your bones." And listen, for the most part, when it seems like they have any type of intimacy, it's him saying, "Give me a kiss." So, she does end up saying, "Listen, our physical exchanges have been innocent and playful. And I feel like, I like you and you're someone that I respect." And he just hones in on, her saying that he's someone that she respects, which what man wouldn't? He says, what man wouldn't want a wife who's obsessed with him? But I think that's vice versa too. We want y'all obsessed with us as well. Like, that's nice. If the couple is they just love each other so much, that's beautiful. So don't think that that's one-sided. But he also says, "Well, I don't want you to be kissing me because you respect me." So of course, they have a back and forth in that, and she reveals like, "Hey, like, listen, I'm not physically attracted to you." So his whole mood changed. So of course he becomes a little more defensive because he feels like he's saying to us in his confessional, "Hey, she can't tell me she's not attracted to me. She's attracted to me. She done kissed me with all this food in her mouth and this and that." And it's like, at this point, y'all playing cat and mouse. Like, it's like a tit for tat thing. Like, she's not attracted to you. She's not attracted to you. And now it's like, let's see who can make who look worse on national TV. They're gaslighting each other. Look, this is just my opinion. Now, I hate it for both of them because now you got people coming out the woodworks talking about they used to date them and, all this other stuff. And their whole deal is a one-upmanship. Somebody is always going to find the conflict in whatever nice conversation they had and whatever wonderful 5 hours. They had a great day. They had a great evening, and now it's time for bed and we got to argue. Like, we had a great morning and now that we're out and on our way home, we got to find something to argue about. It's ridiculous. But he kind of ends it with, "Well, I'm going to trust you as my wife to make it possible for us to get into alignment, and we'll just see what comes in the next days." So they always have their little debate or whatever, but they always come back together like, "Okay, we'll figure it out." And I think that is kind of a similarity that I see between them, who is the oldest couple, and also Caitlyn and Devin, who is the youngest couple in this season. Now, the honeymoons are winding down. We do see the couples, like I said, going on some good dates. Felipe and Tori go horseback riding and have a romantic dinner. We see Courtney and Nick being flirty on the docks. So maybe their talk did help. We see them also go to dinner. They're laughing and having fun. But most of all, at that dinner, they communicated more. And I like that even though Courtney is a negative Nancy, that Nick is full of optimism. And I'm going to say these two might be okay. They may not stay married, but hopefully she finds some sort of, desire to want to spend time with him. And you'll see what I mean when we get a little further. Now, Devin and Caitlyn take a romantic looking dance class. They both look happy. Like, he is absolutely beaming. She looks like she's having fun too. Exactly as it should be. Like, I do understand her when she said, like, listen, it's a time and a place. You know, sometimes I want me time, but when it's us time, I'm all in. And she seemed to be all in when they went to that dance class. Now we see Tori and Felipe have a nice beach dinner. They talk about what they see their futures as. She sees the house, you know, and also a vacation home. She sees them having, you know, one or two kids. All I could think about with Felipe ever since he said it, I'm sorry, is the whole she's a Christian, excuse me, and he's an atheist thing. Like, I just don't believe him anymore. And he once again confirms in his confessional during that dinner that he, in the past, has done too much love bombing in relationships. And every time you see Felipe, he's all sweaty and drunk. Like, I don't like, he don't seem to be slurring his words, but he don't look like, he a little bit more pale than everybody else, and he look a little bit like more soaked in the face. So he kind of goes back in, and after he does his confessional telling us, like, yeah, I have been known to love bomb in the past, he you know, he also says, are all his actions because Tori is beautiful? You know, saying to himself and saying to us, yeah, dog, it is. And what's going to happen when y'all go back to Seattle? But anyhow, it goes back to him saying to her face, you know, can I do this? Can I win you over? Felipe, like, what are you trying to do? You know what I'm saying? But in that moment, they do what they do. Had their little confirmation kiss. But like I said, I don't see anything good on the horizon for these two. Child, then we got Belle, Jolie, and Mecca chilling in the bed. He, like I said, laying on the compliments. He feeling good because they moving in the right direction on the surface level. To him, they looking like husband and wife. But then they have the conversation of attraction. Mecca asked the question, do you think that one of us is attracted to the other, like, any less or any more? Just like Dr. Sean is asking Nikki questions, because he wants her to ask him the question pretty much, so he could humble her, let her know, like, anyway, like I'm saying, yes, they have the conversation, and Mecca in his teeth charms got the nerve to tell her, yeah, I think you about 150 and I'm about 80. Matter of fact, I think you like me more than I like you, but you just trying to hold back, but I could definitely see it. Huh, Mecca? Like, what are you saying? Like, all this, you look so good, this, you look so good, that went out the window. It was like he took all the wind out of her sails. But she was gracious. She was super gracious. She definitely made a point to let us know in her confessional, listen, I'm going to dial it back because he not about to have me looking crazy. And my whole thing is, why is he doing this? And my reasoning is he has not dealt with the things that he needs to deal with. Because why? Like, y'all having a good time, all you do is compliment her. You talking about you smacked her on the butt when she walked by. All you talk about is how good she looked and how happy you are that y'all together. But you manipulate a conversation to tell her that you think that she's more into you than you are into her. Why? Why? On the other end, we seeing Devin and Caitlyn are processing their double date differently. Devin and Caitlyn went out with Marissa and Adam, and Devin's all looking at their dynamic and wishing, you know, I wish he touched me more. I wish this. I wish that. Exhausting. Exhausting. Like, when y'all are together and y'all are doing stuff, Caitlyn seems to be okay. Like, it's just a matter of, listen, when I get up and I want some time to myself at the gym, I want to go to work and not have you thinking that you sitting home like a sad puppy waiting on me all day. That's all I need. But yeah, so they're processing that different, and it kind of shows in the previews. It's the end of the episode 5, and it just kind of shows her just being pretty much to her wits end. Like, I don't know, I don't think I have what this cat needs, because I can't do this. So we start episode 6 on pretty much the honeymoons are officially over. We see them moving into the same luxury apartment building, and the apartments are nice, beautiful spaces and great views, honey. Everyone's getting comfortable. Nick and Courtney are starting to seem promising. They're planning future dates. Like, it's so weird, because they're just chilling in the bed, and he's asking her, like, would you want to do karaoke? Would you want to do sushi? She's like, oh, hell yeah. Like, I'm with all of that. Where was all this energy when y'all was on the honeymoon, Courtney, when you was talking about you felt like you just had to get away from this cat? Now you saying all the stuff that you was willing to do. Like, it's just weird. Michelle got me a little concerned cutting them cucumbers for that salad super thick like that. But her and Cam are getting along as usual. We see Felipe and Tori are not quite settled in yet, but they still kissing, child, and all lovey-dovey, very surface level. She's in her confession talking about the fact that, hey, we haven't had sex yet, but I'm still feeling very comfortable. Of course, Sean and Nikki, child, done had a fight at the airport on the way home. So she ends up putting him on the couch. At the airport, they were having the cutest time, she said. But every day, it seems like one of them has to initiate conflict. Like I was saying, he pulled her trigger by making comparisons and calling her crazy at the airport. Now, you know what was funny to me? That was a trigger for him to call her crazy. But when she told him that, hey, let's build on my attraction. Like, I will, start doing the things that you want me to do physically. Just let's let it happen organically. He told her that he felt like her, kissing him and all of that was dishonest. So you rather this man call you a liar? You was cool with him calling you a liar and were willing to make up, but don't call you crazy. Like, these two pretty much are just looking for anything just to say, like, he did this or she did that to make America and whatever other countries is watching it pick a side. I'm convinced. It's too much conflict every time they turn around. So she does, like I said, end up putting him on the couch, and she told this man, listen, get all your stuff. I don't even want to hear you in the morning in the bedroom getting your stuff. And he was like, I'm not taking my stuff out the closet. So in her confessional, she said that she pretty much think that he's trying to humble her ever since that she told him that she wasn't physically attracted to him. But baby, you not attracted to him. Like, y'all need to stop trying to villainize each other. And I think it's true for a couple of these couples. It's almost like one false move, one kind of thing, like, I'm turned off forever. It's Courtney and Nick with the espresso machine. It's Devin and Caitlin with their black cat and golden retriever dynamic and the whole gym situation. It's Nikki and Sean with Nikki's lack of attraction for him and him trying not to be or look embarrassed. But of course, these two wake up the next morning, they make up, but we know the next argument is right around the corner. We see Courtney and Nick have a wall sit competition, and Courtney beats Nick at the wall sit. It's a little cute little moment. Adam takes Marissa to see his boat, and it must be the first damn boathouse on that damn road, because it looks very, very run down. He got a damn tarp on the roof. He shows her where one of his homeless friends sleeps in a beanbag in the house. He has a body pillow. He got ice caps in the ceiling, which made her super nervous. Surprisingly more nervous than touring a shack of a supposed to be well-to-do man. But then he ends up pointing her in the direction of his pride and joy, child, his jet ski. And of course he takes her jet skiing. We see Caitlin and Devin are having this dinner, which starts off kind of awkward, I think. Like, Devin's kind of teasing her about noodles or something. Like, she wanted noodles and he said he was ordering them so she didn't have to worry. But then, she gone to get noodles and he acting like he ordered them for him. Like, boy, shut up. Give me the damn noodles. Stop playing with me. And they talk a little bit about divvying up chores. And she says she's super excited to get back to work again. And she checks in with him, making sure that, listen, you ain't going to be, sitting at home all day just meal prepping and, going to the gym, with your rugby team and then just waiting on me to come home. And he's like, no, I'm going to definitely, not be doing that. And I'm also going to be making sure that I prioritize your alone time. We should be good. We'll see once we get into the swing of our week. He also finally apologizes for focusing on like the negative aspect, and he starts talking about his neediness. So she starts looking bored. She also starts looking a little bit tense because he's like, I just feel like I'm this way and you're that way. And she like cuts him off like, let's just see what the experts say. And then we see her kind of in her confessional, she's naming all the things that she's done to make him feel more connected. I'm rubbing your back, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm up with you till 2 a.m. in the morning talking about the same stuff. And she's crying saying that, this is the kind of relationship that I hate and hopefully the experts can help us. But my whole thing is, if this man got you up till 2 in the morning talking about the same thing, I can understand why you feel the way you feel. Like, we just had this conversation. Let's see how our schedules is going to work. Let's see how our dynamic is going to be before you start panicking like you're not going to get enough time for me. Like, I feel like it's stressing her out because, like, his needy energy, I feel like feels familiar to her. Like, she's been in that place before with a past relationship and it didn't feel good. She doesn't want a needy man, who wants constant reassurance. I feel like in that moment, she just like, let's wait till the ex, because he just starts to go on probably something that he's been talking to her about at 2 o'clock in the morning. And she gets up and like, let's just wait for the expert to talk about it. He kind of snickers a little bit, when she walks away. So everybody ends up meeting with the experts. We do see Adam and Marissa meet with the experts. We see Cam and Michelle meet with the experts. But they must didn't have enough drama because it's kind of stopped on Courtney and Nick and stayed on Courtney and Nick. So, listen, like I said, she's still harping on the fact that he was unable to use the espresso machine at the resort. And the way she describes it is him not being the most handy man. Again, it's an espresso machine, Courtney. You don't know if this man know how to change a tire or a car battery, fix a leak around the house. It's all because he couldn't work the espresso machine in that moment. Like, niggas is used to Keurigs. It wasn't a Keurig, okay? So he says that he doesn't want to have any, he doesn't really have any turnoffs with her, but that was the turnoff that she named for him. But he does admit that there's a flirty warmth that he feels like is not there. So Courtney starts spiraling a little bit into like overthinking, and he's shaking his head. Like, in his confessional, he's like, Courtney is taking a logical, quantitative approach to physical affection. And like, I couldn't have explained it any better. I feel like it's really better to let things happen naturally, and she's so in her head about everything. Now, one thing that I did notice about the Dr. Lisa this season is she picks up on one phrase that somebody says and agrees to go with it like the whole therapy session. Like, somebody could be like, I mean, I don't know, like, I like fried pork chops. He don't. And here come Dr. Lisa. Yes, because you like fried pork chops and he don't. And this is what we need to really unpack. It's like, lady, come on with an original thought and help these people. Now, to be fair, another thing about this show is I honestly think that production is who picks who is going to be matched up. And it's the experts who have to make it all make sense all season. So like Dr. Lisa about sick of them too. We ain't even halfway through the daggone season. Now we do see Mecca going out working early, and like I said, his main job, I believe one of the businesses that his family holds, and something that he expressed at the male bachelor party is, listen, I clean porta potties. So we see him out early in the morning on a truck. In his confessional, he's like, when I kissed Belle Jolie goodbye this morning, she asked why I was leaving so early, and I was just like, baby, I'm leaving early so I could get back home to you earlier. So after that, they pissed me off. They really, really pissed me off. Because why would y'all show us this man up fresh and early to clean porta potties all day? Then turn around in the next damn scene and show him with his porta potty paws seasoning the damn food with his fingertips. Like, I know he washed his hands, okay? But I feel like he need to be dipped in boiling bleach after a day like that. And I ain't gonna argue with nobody about it. That's how I feel. So, him and his bacteria bracelets, seasoning dinner, like, I feel like they keep highlighting this cat with the food, and it's pissing me off. They talking about their childhoods. He's talking about how he was a bad kid and he got kicked out of preschool. He also touches a little bit on how when he's growing up, he talks about having one girlfriend in the 10th grade. He talks about a girl that he got really serious with in adulthood that ended up moving away and playing basketball overseas. But of course he touches on, you know, his biological mom, his stepmom, you know, them leaving and being gone and how much it affected him. Belle Jolie talks about kind of growing up and wanting more like a fairy tale style type of romance, seeing that for herself. And then she goes on blow to blow about not she doesn't get into specifics, but she blows up her mom's spot. I will say that as far as the blow. She blows up her mom's spot. Pretty much letting us know that she was a result, of her mom and dad's one night stand child. So her mom ends up finding out she was pregnant, reaching out to the dad. Hey, listen, I'm pregnant. I just wanted to let you know. I also want to let you know I don't need you for anything. I got this. And Belle Jolie's like how the dad says to the mom, oh, okay. Yes, that's very generous and considerate of you to let me know that. So Belle Jolie ends up meeting him when she was 20. He immediately asked for a DNA test. It showed that she was 99.99999% his. She finally got to meet him face to face. She said every year on Father's Day, she was, post to post saying that she hoped he was okay and this and that. And her friend just finally one day was like, girl, we gonna find your dad. Like, we gotta stop this. We gonna find him. So found him. He asked for a DNA test. And she told him, like, listen, I'm not mad at you or anything. And he was like, oh. He said the same thing that he said to the mom when she told him she was pregnant with her. Oh, that's so generous and considerate of you. So they have a chuckle at that. But I would say that both of them, we kind of see where things are going with them. Like I said, they are more like besties than anything else. I honestly think that Mecca has more than mommy wounds. We also got to see his dad in action, so I think he has parent wounds. We've seen, like I said, that his dad is kind of takes a passive aggressive humor towards Mecca, kind of a shaming in a sense that has definitely made Mecca into who we see on our TV screens today. Now, I'm not saying that Mecca's a bad person, but the underlying issues that are not so underlying, his insecurities, him second guessing himself, some of his decisions seeming illogical, So, I always want to see people win. I'm gonna stop saying they playing in black women's face, because they playing in our face. Shoot, they playing in everybody's face. Pretty much, if we watching it, like I said, these people is on here to become some kind of popular. Because if not, they could have did it on their own and found a matchmaking service in a theater near them. Okay, now we see Tori and Felipe going out on a wine date. They have a pretty deep talk, and like I said, Felipe feeding her bullshit. She gets vulnerable, gets a little teary-eyed. She talks about being able to be transparent with him, talks about her mom having cancer but being in remission from it. She seems to be very strong. Life has dealt her with tribulations, but she doesn't let them get her down. She also weirdly thanks him for his transparency, and of course, they seal it with a kiss. Now, Devin and Caitlyn finally go to therapy. The therapist is like, I've been hearing things ain't, going the best with y'all, but I could also see in y'all body language that things ain't the best. So, of course, Devin get right to it. Well, she communicated that she needs a lot of space, and with my rejection and abandonment issues, blah, blah, blah. And Dr. Lisa is like, I feel you, because with your rejection and abandonment issues, why hasn't Married at First Sight told us anything about this man's rejection and abandonment issues? No specifics. Nothing. Nothing about Devin's rejection and abandonment issues. We know about Mecca's and his mama. We know that they forced Michelle's possible infertility down our throats. Let's not forget about the treehouse and the jet skis from Adam, and nothing about Devin's rejection and abandonment issues. Caitlyn brings up the issue that happened with the gym, and as I said in one of my previous videos, she gives a little bit more context, which he doesn't deny. It let me know that he actually had a choice whether to get up and go with her in that moment. But to me, like I said, he wanted her to wake him up. She's saying he never accepts what her reality of the situations are with the gym situation, like with the double date situation at the water park with Adam and Marissa. She feels like she's given all she can. She ends up tearing up and says she feels like the villain, and she doesn't like feeling like she's the one causing issues. And he's like, all I'm trying to do is understand you. And Caitlyn is like, dude, less is more. Here come Dr. Lisa. Yes, less is more. I was just about to say that. Dr. Lisa then asks them, what do they like about each other? And Caitlyn immediately says, gives Devin positive feedback. She proceeds instantly to start saying things that she likes about him, and he blushes a little bit. He appreciates that. He needs, like Mecca, reassurance and affirmations. Of course, he returns the favor by giving her compliments and asks if she could work on keeping eye contact with him. So she admits that, that eye contact hasn't been her strong point with him. She's doing the best she can. She feels exposed when she gets eye contact. So Dr. Lisa says, Devin, look, it's been a week. Y'all attracted to each other. Y'all are married but dating. Lean into that. Fall back a little bit. We see Nikki and Sean getting ready for bed once again. And this episode of Married at First Sight, I guess, is just a trend of things that freaking disgust me, because it shows us Sean splashing water on his face, then still with the pants that he had on all day, okay? He takes a damp, not even moist cloth. This stale, damp cloth, and proceeds to wipe under his arms vigorously, okay? His shoulders, he wipes next, then his elbows. He does a quick swipe of the bottom of his back. Then he wipes his face and his head, all with the same cloth, okay? He puts his robe on and says, oh, okay, yes, I'm good. Let me change. Goes to put on a shirt and a pair of shorts. Now, she's taking her time washing the day off. She proceeds to hop in the shower, okay? But you know what? And I've been seeing people talking about this moment online, but I don't think this moment should be any surprise to people. She ends up getting in the bed, and she doesn't even really, they kind of have a hygiene, and soap debate. And people are exhausted, especially in America, from this conversation. But we kind of see that, I want to say episode 2 or 3, both of them, after flying for 13 hours, both of them check into their room, take off their shoes, and jump their nasty feet on their bed, on their freshly made bed. So did they ask for room service after that? So, listen. Where I stand on it is clean your body every damn day. Drink water, clean your body with water, wash your legs, scrub them. They got apparatuses to wash our backs now. So, yeah, anyway, after she gets out the shower, she ends up laying down. They do have that debate. He ends up thanking her for inviting him back to the marital bed. He did acknowledge that he has to make it a safe and healthy space for her to express herself. He also acknowledges, along with her, that the fact that she has been so forgiving, that's a growth for her. And both of them say that they on a right path, but child, we both know that they on the path to divorce. Now we see Felipe and Tori. They looking like they coming home from their day, or at least coming home from picking up Tori's dog. So we see them walking to the apartment with the dog. We see them living. They watching TV. They chilling. The dog chilling. They start making out, child. They making out. The dog walk up a little bit. Hey, what y'all doing? Girl, they getting into it. Felipe done tooted up his butt. They making out so bad. He got his butt tooted up in the air in the confessional. He talking about he feeling sexy. Child, the dog, like I said, still looking. Now, they ain't think about that dog. I don't know what she thinking about, but I know what he thinking about. So we see him go to the bedroom. And then 2 hours later, we see Tori coming out the bedroom, child, with a pillow in hand. She get comfortable on the couch, child. She said for the first time, she feeling a strong dose of flight. Talking about the bedroom was suffocating her and she just had to get out of there. That was that devil, child. Excuse me. That was the devil. She talking about it had nothing to do with Felipe, anything he did, or the sex. Lies. Yes, it did. She ain't like it. So I have the feeling now that we're about to see her being a little standoffish, and either Felipe is going to go all in and really, really try to win her like he said he was, or he's going to start entertaining other women. So that's how episode 6 ended, child. They show us a snippet of what's going to go down in the next episodes. Like I said, they're going to drop 7, 8, and 9 this week. At first, it looks like everybody's getting along. Well, except for Adam and Marissa. And it's not like real bad. But we do see Adam giving Marissa a massage. Remember, Marissa said that she's allergic to cats. Girl, I don't know if a little bit of oil or what get on the daggone cat. But at one point, it looked like he giving both of them a massage. We see everybody get together also. Now, this is the moment. Everybody gets together for dinner. Things get heated. What they don't know, though, is that the experts have a hidden camera. They can hear everything that everybody's saying. We end up seeing Nick and Courtney in the confessional together. And what's weird is in that moment that they're in the confessional together, Courtney said that Adam is the hottest guy in the whole group. And Cam is like, that's a wild statement. Which, mad disrespectful, Courtney. We see Tori telling the whole group that they got intimate, her and Felipe, and that they may have to slow it down. We see Devin make a comparison to him diving into the marriage with both feet to Caitlyn as to him diving into a frozen lake. We also see Felipe say, how does it feel to be rejected by your wife? So I don't know if he asking somebody else that or if he talking about himself. Child, we even see Adam ask a couple if they consider calling it. It might be Devin and Caitlyn since we seen him talking about them earlier. Child, he was talking to Marissa talking about Devin and Caitlyn ain't gonna make it. And we also see Sean stuttering talking about wait. So that's the preview for 7, 8, and 9. So I don't know what's about to happen, but I appreciate y'all for rocking out with me for so long. Thank y'all so much, and until next time, I hope y'all have a great rest of the week.